Many investors are waiting for the USA to file an appeal in the ongoing legal fight, which is why they have been keeping an eye on the Ripple SAC case. As the case nears its end, there are more and more rumors of a long court battle between the two sides. In this case, former SEC lawyers have guessed that the agency would file an appeal, and many have bet the company will file another appeal if the SEC goes through with its plan. The whole crypto industry paid close attention to the Ripple SEC case because it was one of the longest court battles in crypto history. Judge Torres. Last month, the blockchain company had to pay the government $125 million as a fine. This was the end of the case. Many people saw this as a partial win for the company, since the US SEC had originally asked for a $2 billion fine. There were, however, reports that the SEC would appeal the XRP case soon after the decision arrived. If, on the other hand, the government decides to go ahead with the appeal, many people are hoping for the blockchain business to come back. Ripple agreed to give the US Securities and Exchange Commission more time to pay the fine, but now they have been given a stay order. This has also led to rumors about whether or not the two sides are planning to keep the current court case going. James Farrell and Mark Fagel, who used to work for the SEC, say that the Ripple SEC case is expected to go to appeal, which has led to conversations. A recent post on social media by James Farrell says that there is a 75% chance that the SEC will hear an appeal on liability issues. In the most recent X discussion, Farrell said that the SEC had won in institutional sales but lost in deals on the secondary market that used XRP as payment. The fact that complaints must be filed within 70 days is probably not due to careful planning, but to the way the process works. Farrell also says that the SEC staff will need permission from the commission to file later, so there may not be any reason to do so. People who own XRP are cautiously optimistic, but the Ripple SEC case could last longer if the company decides to appeal. The final decision will have a huge impact on how XRP is regulated and on the whole cryptocurrency industry. Is in favor of XRP has said that the agency might not make a decision on an appeal until the very last minute. This suggests that a decision at the very last minute is likely. Still, Stuart Alderodi, Ripple's chief legal officer, and Brad Garlinghouse, the company's CEO, have played down concerns and rejected any plans to extend the XRP case. At the same time, Fred Rispoli has raised questions about the company's ability to get statutory interest if it wins its appeal. If it does, the SEC may return the $125 million fine plus interest. He replied that if the business wins the long-running dispute, the SEC might pay for the appeal and the bond payments if Ripple decides to file a cross-appeal against the court's decision on institutional sales and on-demand cash transactions. The Ripple SEC case would get even more complicated because of this new information. It will have a big impact on the coin business, and the deadline for filing an appeal with the SEC is coming up in October 2024. The price of XRP is $0.5866 right now, and its latest price changes have been clear. In the last 8, it went up as high as $0.5908 and down as low as $928.86 million in trades. Also, the market was optimistic, as shown by the rise in open interest for XRP futures. There is not much time left until October 7th for the SEC and Ripple to decide if they want to challenge or not. The US Securities and Exchange Commission is more likely to file an appeal since there is still disagreement over how to classify Ripple. This is because XRP is Ripple's own cryptocurrency and Ripple is not a listed charity. Its value has gone up and down because the market isn't sure if those assets are real. According to Fred Riesel, a famous cryptocurrency lawyer, the SEC's appeal means that the deal reached between Ripple and the agency to put $101 in funds at risk won't be transferred until 30 days after the October 7th deadline or until RIS's interpretation of the appeal is made. Whichever comes first. This is after one of the disputed amounts is reported to Rais. This setup makes it clear that the SEC doesn't want to talk about its big goals. His best guess is that the SEC will now file an appeal, which has a 60% chance of being found valid. As of right now, speculators and market lawyers are arguing over what legal arguments the SAC would use in reaction to an appeal. Ripple was accused by the SEC of marketing XRP as a security that had not been filed in 2020. This is the history of the law and the most recent changes. There is now a legal disagreement between the two sides over how cryptocurrencies should be regulated under US securities laws. The Howey test says that a deal might be an investment contract if it meets certain legal conditions. Programmatic sales of XRP did not meet the security norms of the Howey test. The ruling by Judge Alyssa Torres on July 13, 2023, said that this was a big win for Ripple. But before the case was over, the Securities and Exchange Commission filed an interlocutory appeal in August 2023 to try to overturn this decision. Because of recent improvements in the court system, Judge Torres turned down this plea in October, which meant that any challenge would have to wait until after the trial. The chief court officer of Ripple, Tori Alderode, said that even though the Ripple case is coming to an end, the Securities and Exchange Commission's fair notice claim could be very hard to overcome in other ongoing cryptocurrency lawsuits. In cases like SEC vs. Binance, the Commission has taken judicial action many times. It is stating again that some cryptocurrency tokens are assets on secondary markets. These projects bring attention to the fact that regulations around digital goods are still not clear. The case against Ripple is still up in the air, which affects the price of XRP. Investors are waiting for the SEC to take more action, which can change the price performance of XRP. The value of the digital money has dropped by 708 points in the past 24 hours. It's selling at 58 cents right now. Industrial seems to be being cautious before making any big news. Still, even though everyone is guessing now, there are still some experts who are optimistic about the token's future price rises. All Street Bet's bullish predictions say that the value of the cryptocurrency will go up a lot in 2024. They think that XRP is about to go up even more. This idea is based on the Elliott wave hypothesis, which says that market cycles can be seen as a pattern of price changes. Based on what they found, wave zero of the Elliott wave cycle is now happening in XRP. Based on his estimate, this means that the price may drop a little to about 55 cents before going up a bit more. After this, the price of the token may go down a few times before going in a good direction in the long run. Most likely, the market will have to wait months for the SEC's decision and the lawsuits to end. In the meantime, this rise could bring the price of the token closer to $1. Even though regulations are always changing, people in the cryptocurrency community are still keeping a close eye on XRP and guessing what will happen to it in the long run. After the latest transfer of 200 million XRP, which is worth about $17 billion, the next thing the Securities and Exchange Commission will do is look at the whole cryptocurrency market. That is, they might have an effect on how the US government defines and implements rules for digital assets. Strange moves of money were sent to wallets that no one knew about, and the US Securities and Exchange Commission is currently investigating Ripple for this. There was a lot of talk about this deal happening at a time when the SEC might file an appeal at the last minute. Recently, Ripple's actions have caused a lot of fuss in the Bitcoin world. Whale Alert, a well-known on-chain transaction tracking tool, says that Ripple sent 200 million XRP to an anonymous wallet with the message RP for 2 labels.